So how do you take one video and build 10 pieces of content out of it? Well, today I kind of want to break that down in the way that Umore tends to do it. So let's put at the center that one video, right? And that one video is probably going to be a slightly longer form video. Let's say you're a construction company or a landscaping business, right? So you're a landscaping business, and what you're going to do is you're going to go to a client's house that you want to film, that you've finished. You've finished the job, it's beautiful, and you're going to go there and you've said, hey, I want to get a nice little video of that full garden as it's finished, right? So in your mind, that video is probably going to be like a 2 to 3 minute long thing. It's going to be maybe a bit of you walking around and pointing at things and talking about it, and you're going to get one great asset out of it. Now, I think one of the biggest problems with businesses is that's where they stop. And actually, there's so much more you can get out of that. So first of all, what I would say is, well, while we're there, what are some of the other things that we could actually get out of that video, right? So you've now got social snippets. So out of that 2 to 3 minute video, you can probably pull 3, maybe 4 slightly shorter snippets that you can now use across socials, right? Because this video will do fine on socials, but once you post it once, it's gone and it's done. So how can you now pull out a couple of snippets out of this main video that's going to perform really well on socials, right? So that's maybe the first place. Then what you could do is you could take this video and you could actually use it as part of your email campaigns, right? So you've got it on email. So you're going to send it out to your newsletter, out to your email list, showcasing a project that you've just recently finished. And do you know what? Actually, you could probably take 1 or 2 of these snippets here as well and do that as well. So let's say you've got the main video, you've got a couple of snippets. So let's say you can maybe get 2 or 3 emails out of that as well, right? So there's that one, there's that one. Then you've got your website, right? So you've got your website where you can take that video and you could put it as part of, say, a case study. So you've done this beautiful house, maybe it was a 30 grand job. You can say, look, here's a beautiful £30,000 example of what we could do. So you've got that one video, used it on socials, using it in emails. You've now built it into your website into sort of like a case study-esque type thing. Out of that as well, it's not perfect, but what you can also do is you can pull screen grabs, right? Now, ideally, you'd be taking photos on site while you film it. But again, for the sake of this exercise, let's say you've not. Now, you can probably pull a couple of high quality photos out of this that showcase some of the work you've done. So I don't know, let's say 5 photos. So you've now got 5 photos that you can pull out of that as well. So you've got maybe a picture of the driveway, or a picture of this, a picture of that. And these 5 photos not only are their own assets as standalone assets, but they could also be used on the website. It could also be used in emails, could also be used on social media as well. Out of that, you've then got potentially like a blog sort of thing on your website as well. So you might have a case study element on your website where you're talking about this is a job that we completed, but then as part of the blog, you might then have the option to say, oh, okay, well, an example would be, here is 3 different ways in which you could design your garden, and here's one video of an example of that. So it could fit within sort of your weekly or monthly blog journey on your website. And also, you've then got your sales process, right? So imagine you're having a conversation with a client and they say, oh, I live in a new build house and this is, we've been given this garden and this is what we're looking to do. And you can say, well, do you know what? This was a new build house. Here's the perfect example. Here's exactly what the budget looks like. And as part of that journey, depending on what the client is then inquiring on, you can take that video and you can go to the customer and say, hey, look, perfect. Yeah, I know you're probably talking a bunch of different companies. Here is almost a exact spend in the style that you're potentially looking for, in the kind of house that you're looking for as in a new build, that you can take that video and you can showcase to them the work you've done as well. So there's a variety of ways in which you can take one video and leverage it in multiple different places. But this would be my final add-on and challenge. If all you captured when you filmed this video was one 2 to 3 minute video, then you've lost even more. Because actually, although you can take that one video and use it in multiple places, the key thing is having a much clearer strategy at the beginning of the whole process of going into the shoot. So when we're there, I would be saying, what are some really short social snippets, additional snippets that you could film that would be very specific for Instagram that are maybe answering, I don't know, 3 or 4 of your most asked questions about this kind of garden. So you've maybe got something, I'll just go down here. You've maybe got, your FAQs around like new builds, right? You could film a little thing that's like, here's the top 3 things people ask us about new builds, right? 30-second video, perfect. Where could you use that? You could use it up on socials. You could use it as part of an email campaign. You could use it in a blog. You could also use it in a sales process. If somebody asks you a question, probably not pulling photos from it. On your website, you could probably include it there as well under an FAQ setup. And then you're saying, actually, I'm going to film 3 of those. So I'm going to film another one and another one. And now you've got multiple places where you can use these pieces of content across here. And that's just one other idea that you filmed while you're there. Then you're also going to say, so you've got your FAQs there. You've then also got, say, your photos, right? And you're going to get much better photos than screen grabs, right? You're going to aim for, 10 to 15 high quality photos out of that shoot. And you say, okay, well, also, maybe I'm going to get a testimonial, okay? So you're then getting a testimonial from the customer saying how great you were, how great the project was, how beautiful it looks. That can also be cut into 3 or 4 social snippets, also be used in emails, also on the website, as part of the case study, also in blog. You see my point. So the key thing is lots of people often approach you more and say, hey, we just finished a project, or hey, we've got this idea for this one video, can you come film it? And what we'll often say is, whoa, before we actually get to that one video, let's think about the strategy. What can we do when we're on the shoot to be able to capture loads of content that can be used in loads of different spaces? So rather than going into a shoot and saying, okay, this shoot, by the time we get there, set up, come back, edit all, maybe it's going to cost, $2,000 for the project, right? And you're going to walk away with one asset, let's say, okay? So one key asset that you're going to leverage across multiple places, but one key asset. How do we go in with the mindset of saying, okay, well, actually, if we increase the budget, let's say to 3 or 3.5K, if we're going to increase that budget to that, what more could we get? Well, we could get photos. We could get loads of sales process specific content. We could get additional social media snippets. We could get a testimonial. We could get all of these other videos for, although an increased spend, but the cost per asset is going to be dramatically lower. You could be walking away with, to keep the maths easy, 30 assets. And so out of that, you're then taking 30 assets, which can be leveraged in multiple places. So you maybe get 100 places it can go, but you get 30 assets, and that's 100 quid a video, as opposed to $2,000 for one asset. So that is always YouMore's approach when it comes to trying to create content for your business. If you are interested in learning more about how we do this for other businesses or how we could do it for your business, then I would love to hear from you. There's a wee form in the bottom of this description. You can click on it, fill it out, and we'll be in touch to share a little bit more about it. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video.